All right, let's see what we got here. All right, hang on now. Let's see. That's what I'm talking about right there. That wild, primitive, primordial, deep, deep galactic. Mother Mystic says the veil been lifted. Grab your grip and let it shift. Time to undo the unrational rifts. Time to align your soul with the dragons and let it rip. Blue cobalt flame, violet purple haze. Ain't no more shame and blame. Life is amazing. It's a coming out party. But I am soul. Yeah. That's the way to do it. Elevating, escalating, emancipating. We are creating. Welcome to the DaVinci Spiral. Quest potential with the divine goddess, DaVinci. This is our 620th broadcast on the Soulogy Network. Using this platform.
Why I'm not hearing you well?
Turn your volume up.
Okay, I'm hearing the music. Okay.
There you go. You got it?
Yes.
So you are the hostess with the mostest. What are we going to be doing today?
Shaking it.
Shaking it. Nothing wrong with that.
Today, I wanna pay respect to the Hawaiian spirit, and a lot of people know that we know you're my brother, and you have visited quite a few times here. And when Todd left, when you left, a week ago, it's not even a week ago.
I got here. What's today?
Oh my God! Friday. You left Friday.
4 days ago. No, I left Saturday.
Oh my God! It feels like forever because.
I know, man.
And I gave you Christian ashes with you.
I know, and I was in a hotel for 2 nights, and then a goddess reached out to me. One of the dragon goddesses, priestesses, and she has 100 friends on Facebook. One mutual friend. She says, "I know you're supposed to come here. This is what I can offer." I was looking around for a place to stay, and not only was it more affordable, but in the most precious part of the island of Kauai, which they call the Garden of the Hawaiian Islands. It's basically on a big crystal. And so I got here yesterday, and I went for a walk, as I always do. And within 3 minutes, I was on a cliff overlooking the ocean. So I pulled my camera out, and I'm trying to take pictures, and my camera went dead. And I just heard, "Just be quiet. We're not going to let you take pictures today, maybe tomorrow." So, yeah, it's a powerful, beautiful place. And, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
So Christian is planted there. It's in the sea.
That's what I was going to tell you.
Yet. Okay.
I'm going to find. No, I found a beach, and I saw another beach, but there's this other beach that's like the beach. Okay,
Beach.
and it got washed out by the floods of the hurricane. And so they've shut that part of the island down. And the understanding is with those people that are connected to the island is that that is allowing the island to cleanse itself in that special place. So that's where I'm going to take his ashes, and
Wow.
I'm I'm going to do that as the weather permits, but it won't be too long. That's the place
Whatever you
that's the place
feel.
it needs to be. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw pictures of it, and the water looks like a swimming pool. I mean, I kid you not. It looks better than a swimming pool. It's unbelievable, you know. So yeah, we're gonna
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being in my life, daughter. And it's like you've been in my life since this happened and before. It means a lot. It
yeah.
means a lot. I want to start with the Hawaiian chant that I have learned. I studied for 3 years intensely in South Africa with Kahuna, and I was trained. Hawaiian teachings, Hawaiian way of massage healing, and where I was trained to massage for 12 hours nonstop, where this becomes. These classes, just to break a little bit, they were in honor of Halloween. So, boo. The veil, it's just like taking your glasses off. That was my whole point. So, and in this training, I have connected with the Hawaiian energy. I remember my inheritance of the Lemurian and the Hawaiian language. It's the most ancient. It's 14,000 years, one of the oldest languages. And you know this, like we all know this, that carry the vibrations. And as it's spoken, it initiates us, it activates us. And this powerful prayer, and I'm going to just take you as I learned it, and I'm gonna do the translation as well. He lakae, he lakai kaleo, he lakai kaloa, he lakai kavai vai. Mekalo Yihi. It's a powerful prosperity chant, and it means it calls on the archetypal feminine energy of attraction. It has to do with striking the tone, hitting the frequency that the name of which you wish exists upon. This defining name has a ring to it that carries the spiritual call. It is to immerse yourself fully in the river of its well to the point of opulence. Means to allow the river of energy that is to connect it to manifest and that you desire to run through you. Through this immersion, allowing the sound of the ancient words to ring with you. Retain that which is yours out of the sea of wealth you have called into being. And the last one gives respectful thanks for what is to be received. It blessed and sends the energy back to source, acknowledging the connection and allowing the current to continue to flow. And it's a deep respect, deep honor, and it's I want to add something to what we've been doing, honoring, praising, worshiping. This is the new that we are embodying. We become the gods that we look upon, or the gods, or the deities, or the multidimensional being. And I feel November, it's fully integrated, not begging somebody, not even praying to someone, but fully mastering our the magicians that we are these gods and goddesses and these beings from throughout the universe. And this is what I want to honor, and to awaken the resonance that is deep within us, all of us. Yeah.
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 And all I can say is I've never been to Hawaii before, but that song or that chant that you just spoke does resonate beyond the vowels or the
Mm,
pronunciations of it. And it carries to me a huge dragon energy, which is
mm,
something that I'm discovering. I started to discover, I really think, through my connection with Katie Indicrow, and but unspoken, And it started when I went to the Goddess Gathering, and then when I got over here, it's just been increasing. But there's a strong, powerful. I don't even want to call it a feminine. It's got both. Don't
yes.
get me wrong,
Yes.
but
Yes.
there's a strong feminine aspect that I've seen and experienced this morning that is beyond the human definition of feminine, and it is a deep feminine essence um, that carries like this warrioress or warrior, really masculine warrior, protector, doer, and so yeah, you know, everything is integrating and converging, and everything's making sense, and I mean for everybody. Um, yeah,
Do
if
you,
we
do you feel that? Do you feel that a man? It's more like men integrating their feminine part and woman integrating their masculine part. Do you feel like it's like on this level on here on a human 3D in a physical, like a woman integrating her masculine and a male integrating his feminine? It's what do you feel it this way, or it's I'm just like
I
speculating
you know
with words.
that's a good question. The way I would answer that for me
Yeah.
is that the feminine and masculine frequency, let me say frequencies, because they're made up of infinite number of frequencies within themselves. Having the having it broken down to masculine and feminine makes it easier, but it's not that simple as one or the other. What ends up happening is you start to become more aware of all the different frequencies of feminine, all the different frequencies of masculine, and you start to um, you know integrate those or embody those or whatever you want to, however you want to say it. But what I got from one of the many things that I've gotten from the dragon family is that they took me through something today, and it ended with "I am that," and they said some people identify more with this essence or that galactic star family or this elemental. And what I was told was for all those that you identify with and have, you are that. For all those that you have not thought about or haven't or differentiated yourself from them, such as say elves or fairies, uh, reptilians, or anything, stars. I mean, anything. It could be anything. Mineral,
Yes.
crystals.
Yes.
That to embody, engage and embody and embrace each one of those aspects. So it's not the ones that got us to the party, but the real expansion occurs when we start to uh, address, acknowledge, open, and receive all aspects of the universe. And I think that's where that feminine and masculine comes in, because some things come across more one than the other, and it's just uh, it's just like
Mm.
more clarity. The tree showed me today how all the branches on the tree
That was.
were, a copy of the trunk coming out of the ground, and how each one was a universe. And then I did a post today talking about how the one branch that embodied every single other aspect of the tree planted a seed, and that seed didn't turn out like the rest of the seeds. It grew legs and wings and higher abilities and became a species, and that's what we're doing, you know.
That was incredible post. That was like, you can with this model explain the whole universe. And it's interesting, I even posted this morning, but this morning where did I put it? This morning I painted a tree with a spiral up and then another in the roots and the 4 elements. And when I saw your post, I said, we're tapping collectively to the same energy, like the language. Our language is becoming tuned in, and a lot of people are connecting to the same energetic, and it's the same language of frequency. So I want to talk about the DaVinci spiral, what is happening, and we should do this, but we should be prepared for maybe next week. We put the 2 charts, but I want to show here the humanity chart of the new human being, of the new rising consciousness. And I had synchronized it, and I've checked it with many rising energies that are coming now, and it resonates so fully. And the first time when I did it, to what it struck me taught, the energetic 108 energetic expressions of the spiral archetypes that each person that I've been activating hold specific. It's kind of a holding place that each time I activate somebody, the whole spiral start to illuminate. It's like the neurons in the brain. It's like the neuroscience, as they connect, it illuminates. So the human, this is everything. It's a living, organic, energetic. And I just want to show you something, that your chart has the same frequency. Your personal DaVinci spiral activation, it's absolutely the same as the collective.
That's true.
So, and it, of course, I'm not even surprised things when I see things like this. Before I say, oh my God. And this was a long stage when I was, oh my God. But it's a stage. And then I say, but of course, should not be in any other way. So I just want to explain, these are the 4 elements, and it's everything that I have learned, studying, been initiated, put together and channeled together. And it's a universal, and it's nothing that you don't know. We know this knowledge. This was my part to play here. And there are 4 channels or waves that run in the different configuration. And I want to talk of the fire channel. The fire channel collectively, and this is the fire channel.
Yeah.
That it's the same as your thought. And it's started 2014, where we started a new stage, actually 2012. It's the beginning as an energy, but in 2014 was initiated by the fires. So 2014, it's where I was activated by the spiral. Actually, vice versa. I activated the spiral, and spiral start to activate me. So 2014, and now we are 6 years old, and we are going into this 5th stage. So in December, we are entering, and this is the energy of air and air. And it's a lot of talk. Since 2014, it's a lot of talk, a lot of putting setting the stage, the intention, putting the powerful intention, shifting our mentality, looking at our attitudes, belief system, everything. It's like working of the mind so the mind can expand. And here I have, and I've shared it other time here, you probably saw it because you stay in this room. It's your room, Christian's room. I have little things. Keep your mind open. Your heart is always open. Just a reminder. Just a reminder.
I saw that.
Yeah.
That was in the bathroom, wasn't it?
Pardon?
Wasn't that in the bathroom? No, that was
no, in my computer, right here. So what I want to talk about, the energetics, how we are, this is the last month, and so next month we are shifting into the 5th. And if you have done the spiral, and a lot of you here, quite a few, have done the spiral. Kate, he say, hello, teachers. Kate, you are one of those teachers. We are teachers and students in the same time. But the 5th, it's the step. Here, if we think we've got shaken this year, oh, watch out. This is where our real ride starts. This December, it's where we are going to be really put on. This has been kind of preparation, rehearsal in a way, and there's no rehearsal. But this year, 2019, starting in December, we're going to be shaken to completely lose it. And somebody
shake it in a good way, though, right?
Shake it in a very good way. Somebody come and say, I'm losing my mind. I say, yes, let's lose the mind, because we don't need that quality of mind anymore. We need a bigger picture. We need to see the bigger picture. So this is like little updates, and we can talk more if there's a questions. And I just want to get 2 more things that I want to communicate with you. A lot of lucid dreaming. I had, it's like, okay, I'm going to tell you as it is, where I am now, right now, with my energy. It just hit me last week when you left it. I acknowledge that I'm going to a different stage of grief, and I broke down again in pieces, even more bigger pieces. And I've been going into the abyss of, or whatever you can call, I cannot even explain it with words, but it hit me that it's starting to hit me, and I'm going to the next stage. And I spent a day in anger where I raged. And I allow it. I allowed my anger to express itself. I did not block it. I was raging at Christian. And before I could not go there. I could not dare go there. And now I allow myself to be raw and authentic and real, and really be pissed off with him. And I express it, and I cry and I scream, and I went through my own process. And what's happened, it took me, because the anger, actually, it's a realization that the anger, actually, it's the seed of my passion. And this is the fire. This is when we deal with fire. And I work with a lot with the archetypals of the elements. But the anger, it's the baby, the child of our passion. So I went I don't know where I'm going to go from here now. And there's a different landscape now from that experience, that it's been 6 months, and the first is shock, and then it's the now, and now it's the stages that I'm going through. I don't know. So this is where I am. And on top of it, put on top of it, I'm not saying to feel sorry for me. I'm just laughing. I'm hitting my menopause. My hormones are insane. So dealing at the same time with grief and menopause, girls, I'm going nuts, complete nuts. And it's a very interesting, a very fascinating space to be, where I'm like popping, and it's things that I think I was there. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And I'm in that fire, on power surges, on rage, on hot flashes, riding waves, and saying all these things. I have powerful dreams. And I just want to tell you, just now, when you texted me, I just woke up, and I wake up with these sacred places, spaces where time collapses or wrinkles and folds, but it's like I saw the spiral collapsing, because we saying time, like if the time wrinkle, we can travel through space and time in a moment of seconds. And this is how the spiral explains it. Here, let's say, here 2018, I want to show you something. 2018, this is the same if we do like this, because the spiral does this. We can go and see what's happened in 2000, and actually what's happened 1982. This is the year where I want you to think of 1982, what's happened, where you were. What we experience now is the residue, or it's
Similar energy.
the same. And yes, the same energy was what was in 1982. We are experiencing now. It's unfolding. It's like 1982 started something, and now we are realizing of it. Could be a dream, could be a collective dream of enough, it's enough. Could be anything very personal, and in the same time very collectively. So I saw these wrinkles, this folding, or at the same time, it's like this is how we make the fastest travel. It's like, let's say, when you are 6 years of age, you can simultaneously enter 42, and I'm getting here more specific, and 24. So the 6 years of age, the 6 years is the seed, but within the flower, this is already the seed, the potential, and then the flowering. So we are the collapsing of time space. It's like, I'm lost here, but I want to express this collapsing, how it feels from the point of DaVinci spiral. And it's not actually, it's a recognition of this.
Yeah.
And yes, I just wanted to share with all of you where I'm at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what you've been doing for a long time, and a lot of people are benefiting. Many people are benefiting from that. You know, I keep getting. That's why, when I posted the picture for this show, I didn't plan. I found it, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's perfect! There's the triad right there."
Because with Christian, we were gonna go to Hawaii with him. Last year, we were planning to go. Actually, he wanted to buy me a ticket, and for us, two of us, to go to Hawaii. So it's Hawaii. It's a very special connection. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, all these, if you look at the spiral, it's not just linear. These lines run diagonal, horizontal, vertical. There's it's quantum as well. And so all these things are, converging, and they make sense. So like when I found the picture and then I cropped it, it was the three of us, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. But I also felt the impact of what that picture would do. So I was like, okay, I was gonna put, with three of us doing the show, but I didn't. I knew for some reason I was like, you know what, don't do that because it's gonna be a shock when she even sees it. I just knew where you were at. That's why I wrote you that little message.
Thank
But
you. Thank
my
you.
thank you. And so what I got from it, and again, I'm speaking from my own universe as Christian is right next to me at the time, like a wave. It's like this wave thing. And I just hear these words. Now, this is after having many dragon experiences over the last few days, an incredible tree experience today, which has always been the main primary thing for me for 7 years. But what I heard was that we are literally choosing. It's not even choosing. We're releasing the timelines that aren't true. And what I was receiving from his essence was that it's beyond what you were saying earlier about how we've been saying things for this period of time and now it's starting to actually happen. So he was saying basically that we're releasing illusionary timelines, which includes death.
Yes.
So what I got from it was that not only because I've had experiences, Morgan and I have talked about it. I've had them without her too, where there's been essences actually materialized before my eyes, be it galactic, angelic, demonic, whatever descriptions we want to use, and that when we start to see these souls that we say have died from the human perspective, which is when I say human, I'm not disregarding that, but from the experience that we shared, that when we start to see that is like the final leg of the veils being totally lifted. The more people that have those interactions speak to those who have not departed, who are right next to us, the more that energy will grow. It's like saying it's one thing, doing it's another. And the more of us that actually connect, and many of us have, probably all of us have connected with someone who we say is transitioned,
Yes.
the more we do
Yes.
that and feed that and stop looking at it as an aberration or
Yes.
a coincidence, and we start to say, this is the alignment of the one true human soul hybrid timeline, that it will start blowing through. And maybe that's what you're talking about with December.
Yes. And his birthday is December 20th, actually. And this and the spiral it's activated for December 21st, 2012. This is the birth date of the new. So it's this so many connection, personal connection, VIP connection, and this is another part. This is like when somebody transition that is very close to you, if you can open and connect. And I have experienced over and over, this is VIP connection, very personal and intimate connection with the divine, because they become the divine, they become everything. Yeah, it's powerful time. So
Yeah.
I'm in this place of a lot of dreams, and it's kind of a like we all are given information that it's holding to the collective puzzle. And what you're doing here, it's phenomenal thought. I cannot stop, and we're always gonna keep our human kind of part within us. But as we put this puzzle together, there's it's exactly as the tree model. Like it's a bigger crown. It's growing bigger and a deeper level and a higher level. And while we're here, we're gonna remain the trunk being rooted in this 3D as expressions with all that we are, with our darker side and our light side. Yet this model is absolutely mind-blowing, how you can explain the whole creation and what we're doing here.
Yeah. And that's what I got today was
Yeah.
So there was this one branch, because everything's broken down micro, 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 micro from the macro.
Yeah.
And so you have a tree, and I was shown it. Basically, this was after I did the post. That's the tree of life. This was the reason I received trees for a day and a half, and I woke up 7 years ago, was all coming to a head, so that when Mother Earth created her planet, this picture that it was nothing but water, basically,
Hmm.
and the tree of life was planted and seeded, and it was her seed, and then which was okay, and then the roots started to take hold, which then started to gather substance, solidity, which created soil, and so on and so on, and that from that tree, each branch became a copy of that, and as the post said, we became one branch that we were totally conscious in, that had forgotten about the rest of the tree, the rest of its aspects. But the whole point that I got out of it was that you know, the human is the part that is the magic ingredient. You
Mhm.
know, we can get
Mhm.
all the multidimensional aspects from us. We can get all of our histories and all of our duties and missions and skills and abilities, but we have to respect and honor and love and revere the human and nurture the human, because what we have done has never been done.
Yes.
Nothing has come through such a dense, on a linear scale, life after life after life, through everything that we've gone through, and actually transmutated it from one species, so to speak, to another species, which is a universal healing, universal warrior, universal soldier that was born from that magic of the branch of a tree, that realized it was the entire tree, and then therefore praised that tree, loved that tree, and that tree loved it, and it planted the seed that grew legs and wings and higher abilities, and became something that had never been born before.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And the joy part of the joy, actually, the words are starting to melt, like love and joy and bliss and expansion. They're becoming like tuning. So, like the words, like this, how I've been feeling that love means light, at the same time means joy, at the same time it's like one thing's a high vibration, that you're in this joy, and yet this joy, we what it's my own personal experience, going to the depths of in our darkness. And today it's Halloween. It's like, let break this things that the devil, and there's a, and I did a video today, I did live about the darkness. And for me, and this is only my opinion, it might not resonate with anyone, but for me, my premise is that if we believe there's an evil out there or dark force to get us, this is exactly what we get. Exactly. So my premise is, it's been what I want to experience. So from there, from this point, there's not evil here. There's us experiencing us and these darker parts that we've been going through. As we integrate them, the totality, we let more light. And it's kind of a two ways, the light and the dark. And we are this, the alchemists that transform light and dark, because light, I feel it. I cannot say it with words yet.
I get what you're saying is, and I'll tell you something else that's that is basically, talking about what you're saying. It's what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing is the reason. It's not just me. The reason this dragon energy is so prevalent isn't just about rediscovering the dragon aspect of us and the way we might think. Um, contains galactic uh, aspects and lineage, in particularly including reptilians and draconians. And we got to understand that stories are stories are stories. Doesn't matter 9/11, galactic wars, civil war, in slavery, all the things that we've worked our way through. They're all programming, and that lead to separation. The universe is the universe. We are all aspects, and I think one of the reasons that the dragon energy is so important right now, and it's coming to the surface right now, is because our family, who we may have viewed even by many in terms of what's been put out there in terms of the Earth history and galactic wars and such, uh, was a very powerful part of this universe that maybe got on the wrong track or whatever. It doesn't even matter, but it's a part of us that can, instead of being something that we push away from ourselves, that we actually integrate within ourselves and use that power that turned this world upside down, if that's the way you want to put it. And I don't see it that way, because it's all divine order and perfect. We can't understand everything. If you go back to the metaphoric symbol of the tree of life, if the trunk tree is pure love, everything in our experience is the branches and the stems and the leaves, and some of those say some ugly things from a human perspective, but from the perspective of seeing the entire yin yang, it's all perfect. It's all part of us, and we are incredible transformers and transmutators, and that's what excites me about the mission that we're on, and the people I work with. Uh, is the transformation and acknowledgement of all aspects of us, and the conversion of that into the highest point of light that it can be, and will be. You know.
Yes, because out of love, it's create everything. Yes, absolutely agree. I've got the same thing, that out of love, all is created. Out of love even doesn't appear this way. Yet it's out of love we are put here. We put ourselves here. And another things I wrote, very beautiful when I wake up. The complexity of our soul, it's like was given to me not with language, with it's like an idea. And it's like our soul, it's so complex, it's so vast, it's so multidimensional, so multi, so too much, that our linear mind thinking, our linear way of thinking will always call it crazy. And I put a post today, call me crazy, because the crazy, it's the new good. The crazy, the wicked, it's the new good. It's like, so call me crazy, please. But
well,
it's
oh my God, Katie's in the house. I couldn't do Katie's show today, man. I was getting schooled by the three mother goddess dragons, but she said fireworks started going off here as you finished your point. That's cool. But I think there's some relevance too to the fact that it is what people call Halloween, or whatever the pagan term is. I don't know all that stuff, but I think there's a point there, because I don't know. For the last few weeks, I've seemed to, it has started happening in Sedona, and I'm familiar with what I would call reptilian energies. I've not ever seen dragons or anything like that, but I saw these energies come in, and I just opened my heart and I said, "Look, man, I'm you, you're me. I'm not scared." And that night, I had this prolific experience on the streets of Cottonville, which is right out of Cottonwood, which is right out of Sedona, at midnight. Uh, it's not enough, to say I am that. I understand that. It's about integration. It's about actually appreciation of every single species and the role they played. No matter what your human perspective is, it's about bringing that force in and saying, you had the fucking balls to go do that. You had the power and the grace and the courage, knowing you were going to be looked at this way or that way or whatever. Though it's when we can equate all of that within ourselves, this is how our power starts to exponentially expand and grow. And then we find ourselves the recipient of the universe's hand of providence and making situations for us, and and bringing people and events and circumstances into our lives. And it's the magic. This is the new species of the universe. We are one of many, many species, but we are the new one. We are pushing this out as far as we can and bringing in all of our aspects and converting them to the highest light this universe has ever seen. And I'm sure the cycle will continue again, but this is our time. We won't get it back.
Yes.
And it's time to get it on.
Yeah, and I want to put a little a fun part. It's been coming for me. The short bus. We are the special kids in the playground in a most empowering way, saying like I'm talking about myself, but I'm considering myself all these kids that been in the short bus, denied, condemned, and I fully own it. Yes, give it to me. I'm gonna ride in the short bus and be okay with this. Call me crazy. It's on the lighter side.
I get what you're saying though, but I mean, it's true. I mean, many of us have been in the weirdo category, and especially in the weirdo category in our families, but it's like, there was always that intriguing, mysterious person, when you were in high school or college or even in the business world that just did their own thing, man. And it was like, how does that person click like that? Because they're always on their groove. They're not worried about what people think about them. And, they just go about their business, follow their passions, do weird stuff. And that's what they do, and, but this is the big bus now. We're all the same. We've got a claim, and really, we can activate more in ourselves. In my opinion, I'm not saying I know everything, but in no other way more than actually integrating, equalizing those human soul hybrids that we have the most problem with. Doesn't mean you got to have a relationship with them. Doesn't mean anything. Just means if you can't look at them in the ethers and say, I am you, you are me, period, end of story, regardless of any feelings that humans have between each other, that's huge. That's like cleaning out your blood vessels,
Yes.
The blood vessels of the spirit.
The soul veins, perception, yeah. I want to put some fire bait.
Uh-oh.
Just to
That's another thing I want to point out too is I've got friends who are very galactic. Keep it going. And I would say off the top of my head, Morgan obviously very galactic. My dear sister Katie in the Crow, very galactic. And then I'm more organic, or came from a more organic remembrance, such as you, such as Amanda, Amanda Lawrence. It's more organic. It's like from the soil. So there's another huge convergence there that I think is important in our history and our ability to remember, is to pull from the organic, true history of the Earth, from the indigenous up, and also from the galactic. We don't have to say we're one or the other. We're both.
and they both needed the structure, and this is the whole brain thinking that we complete. Or it's even not completion, it's like complementing.
Yeah.
Because Lori, she said, I cannot imagine living with yourself. You need the opposite to create that friction, to create that fire. I'm personally not in my fire element, but I have a lot of fire. And we share with you, Todd, the number 2. It's a part, the life part number 2, and it's number 2 of the fire. This is what we share as energetics, and this is the fire that it's been coming. And from my own personal, as you are moving your own fire, you kind of activate, or it's like the forest goes in fire, you spread the fire, because this is the passion, and it burns sometimes. A lot of time it burns other people. A lot of time you may say I've said things that by the look of other people, I probably press button, I heard them, but I want to make here one very what it's becoming more and more evidence that it's this fire. Then they've been teaching us from, oh, you're gonna burn in hell, but in hell, in burning in your own fire, it's where the rejuvenation comes. The dragon, it's like the dragon being able to create this fire. And the fire, I look at it as the archetypal on different levels. The fire can be too high or too low. And as we balance our own fire in the middle of the fire, where you find this very cool place, the coolness of the fire, it's in the middle, where it's not too high, it's not too low. But we need to go through this to find that spot. It's kind of the G spot of the fire.
It's the place where you find out there is no fire.
Yes.
I mean,
and within the fire, in that, it's a blue flame. It's the water inside. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah,
man. There's no and the galactic and the organic, or we'll call it like the organic human seed of evolution, and the galactic. They're the two closest aspects to us, and those are multiple dimensional aspects. But that's the closest history that we have. Some might call it the future, and some might call it the past. I mean, that's a powerful part of us, not the parallels, the alternate timelines that created all this distortion and illusion, but our true history, forward and backward by human terms, using linear. A linear word as the word. That's where that's what I'm finding, is that there's great power in that. There's great power in the memories of being an Egyptian or a Lemuria or a Pleiadian or dragon or whatever it is. There's great power in activating that within yourself and opening up those soul codes. And that's really what we're all doing for each other when we make the effort to do it. And more people are doing that, such as you, going through this new phase and being angry today. And Christiane's been gone 6 months. And, you're respecting the human enough to say, I'm awake, but at the same time, I'm hurting. My human's hurting. My human matters. And I know yours does too. And that's what activates people when they can sit there and acknowledge being human, because we're converting this. It's not like we're going to be we're not staying stupid.
We're moving through this. It's a stage. It's a process. It's only a process, nothing else, because we are not an object. We are not an object. We are the verb. And this is a big, if you tune into the verb, into the motion, it's like instead of like, I give example with smoking. I'm not smoking. I'm the smoking, actually. I am not smoker. When we become aware of the object and the doing, I'm walking, I'm talking, I am a living being, and tuning into the verb will get you out of this stuckness of the object, because we're not objects. No. We're not. We are moving. And this is for me, it's the spiraling. It has so much. It's been teaching me so much with how we spiral, not in a negative spiral way, but how, as we recognize our own personal spiral, how we can start to unlock it's unlock. It's unlock, and it's the picture becomes so bigger that we think we are this, and it's open and open, but cannot open like boom, and we cannot take this energy if
We'd
we
fry our brains. Yeah.
yes. So it's a very I think it's whatever we created for ourselves, because I believe we did it to ourselves, for ourselves. Whatever we set it up on motion, it's very graceful. It's like it's been giving us such a big grace period to awaken slowly, petal by petal, to open the flowers, and this is what we are starting. I love this. I love this. This flower. I had a very interesting experience on LSD. I only took a couple of times drugs, recreational. This was one of my most incredible boom, like connection with the divine, like a instant that it just showed me what is possible. But for different people, different things work. But saying what I was, I don't know what I was saying. Okay. All right.
I got 3 minutes. You can stay on as long as you want. It'll turn off by itself.
Fine.
I have another show.
Yes, I'm gonna just put something here.
What you got?
I don't know. I'm just going to YouTube.
Tanza.
Pardon?
Tanza.
It's like today I saw this woman belly dancing, and it's like, oh my god. Okay.
And today
this is Tahiti.
That sounds like a commercial.
No, she's teaching how to shake it. Ori Tahiti. But it's all islands, like all the island people. Okay. I just have to go back to the original one. And the original us. The original us. And this is again and again, I'm repeating it. I want to create for us to come together and celebrate and have some laughter and nothing serious, really. Nothing serious. And moving the energy, it's in the movement. We work it with the moving. Such a grand, beautiful design. So I want to say thank you. I'm an island people.
Mahalo.
Mahalo, aloha, and in Lakesh. In Lakesh, you're the other me. And it's always an honor to be here, Todd. Thank you. Thank you. And all of you.
We'll be seeing you out here pretty soon.
Oh, yeah, especially in the winter.
Take care.